Be strong.
Hello, children. Here I am again, Doc V, for another lesson in English. English 6, Quarter 4, Week 3. It is MELC based. The topic is about adverb of intensity and adverb of frequency. So before we proceed, please subscribe and click the notification bell for more updates of videos. Thank you! After going through this lesson, you are expected to identify and classify adverbs of intensity and adverbs of frequency. Compose clear and coherent sentences using adverbs of degree, intensity, and adverbs of frequency. Writing a good sentence requires the ability to express ideas in a complete thought. Knowledge about structure is also very helpful. In your previous lesson, you learned how to write sentences using conjunctions. The use of conjunctions enables you to connect words, phrases, or clauses of equal grammatical rank. Likewise, you also learn to connect the main clause with the subordinate clause. In this lesson, you will discover more on using appropriate grammatical structures, particularly with the use of two different kinds of adverbs, the degree or intensity adverbs and the frequency adverbs. Now, let us read the dialogue between cousins Tom and Jerry. They live in a house near each other and share the same study area for homeschooling. Tom, would you like to go biking with me this afternoon? Jerry, I am very sorry I can't. How about tomorrow morning? I'd like to buy I'd like to, but I really can't. I have to finish my modules in English, and besides, we are encouraged to stay at home. Oh, is that so? That is extremely unfortunate. Then maybe let's go skating on Saturday instead. Jerry, that is absolutely exciting, but I have to stay at home and finish my work. Tom, too bad. You seem to totally have no time for fun anymore, Jerry. Not really. I just have to spend my time very wisely or I will fail. I also do not want to break the trust that Nanay and Tatay gave me. Same as the Adele, they took our nurses, frontliners who are working so patiently at the hospital. Tom, okay, then maybe I will just have to finish my research work in Araling Panlipunan so we can enjoy skating together after work. Oh no, after the pandemic is over. Jerry, that is absolutely right. Anyway, we can play inside the house when our school works are done. So these are the conversation between Tom and Jerry. Okay, so look at the dialogue and look at the highlighted words like very, really, extremely, absolutely, totally, very, so, and absolutely. Okay, try to analyze that. Did you notice the highlighted words in the dialogue? What are they called? Okay, they are adverbs of intensity, also known as degree adverbs. And also, another adverb for that is adverb of frequency. Okay? So, the two adverbs here, there are adverbs of intensity, also known as degree adverbs. The adverbs of degree tell us the intensity, concentration, or even the depth of a particular action. Adverbs usually modify verbs. Some adverbs of degree or intensify modifies adjectives. Okay? So take note of this. Some adverbs of degree or intensity modify adjectives. Other adverbs are clauses. Okay? They are the question how much or to what extent. Okay? Now look at the illustration on the right side. It shows the intensity of different adverbs of degree. Notice that the degree adverbs do not occupy the same amount of space on the inverted triangle. This is because these adverbs vary in depth or intensity. Okay, look at this illustration. Okay, bit, considerably, perfectly, thoroughly, absolutely. Analyze how the sentences vary their meanings because of the degree adverbs. The comparison of how tired the subject was vary in intensity. Analyze the illustration below. What words are used to modify or describe how tired the subject was? Look at this. Number 1. I am a bit tired last week. So, tired, but not much. Only a bit. Okay? Then, number 2. I am considerably tired yesterday. A kind of intense tiredness. Okay? Look at this. Next, number 3. I am absolutely tired today. Tiredness or fatigue is so intense. So you can see how the sentences vary with their meanings because of the degree of adverbs they are using. Okay? And it answer how much or how or to what extent. Okay? This one, a bit tired, tired but not much, considerably tired, a kind of intense tiredness, and absolutely tired. Tiredness or fatigue is so intense. Absolutely. Meaning definitely tired. Okay? Now, read the following examples and remember the words that are commonly modified or described by degree adverb. Okay? A degree adverb may be used to modify the intensify of an adverb. This one. She communicates noticeably well. So, noticeably describes the word well, which is an adverb. The degree adverb may be used to modify the intensify of an action verb. So, look at this, the degree of adverb may be used to modify the intensify of an action. How the action was done and to intensify the action done. Okay? Next, she almost finished the whole plate of pie. The word almost modify the word finish, which is a verb. So, almost modify the verb finish. Okay? Then a degree adverb may express a high degree of equality for an adjective. The degree adverb such may express a high degree in an adjective phrase. Like this one, COVID-19 is an extremely dangerous respiratory disease. So what kind of degree does this COVID-19 respiratory disease is? So this degree like an extremely dangerous. Okay? So next one, Natasha is such an obedient child or obedient girl. The word extremely modifies the word dangerous, while such describes the word obedient. Dangerous and obedient are both adjectives. So look at this. So dangerous in the first one and obedient, they are both what? They are both adjectives. So to modify how intensify the adjectives are, we use this one. Extremely dangerous. Such obedient. Okay? Again, the word extremely modifies the word dangerous and such describes the word obedient. So, dangerous and obedient are both adjectives. Maliwanag? Okay. Ano ba ang minamodify ng adverb? Minamodify ng adverb ang verb, ang adjectives, at another adverb. Nakuha nyo? Siya ay nagmamodify sa mga ganon. Okay. Let us read the selection and answer the given questions about Agatha's hobbies and interests by Violeta P. Garcia. Agatha has a lot of hobbies and interests. She usually gets up early so she can run before work. She doesn't often have time to play volleyball, but she occasionally goes on Saturdays during the summer. She loves music. She always goes to choir practice on Wednesday evenings and sings in church on Sundays. She doesn't have much extra money, so she rarely goes to concerts in the city. She seldom watches TV because she likes doing things outside. She usually goes to the gym. If it's raining outside, she isn't often alone because she has a lot of friends. She occasionally does something alone, but she usually does her activities with one of her friends. She is a happy woman. Let us let us read again, then analyze the underlined um, words. Okay, it is your turn to read. Are you ready? Okay, go. Agatha's hobbies and interests by Violeta P. Garcia. Agatha has a lot of hobbies and interests. She usually gets up early so she can run before work. She doesn't often have time to play volleyball, but she occasionally goes on Saturdays during the summer. She loves music. She always goes to choir practice on Wednesday evenings and sings in church on Sundays. She doesn't have much extra money, so she rarely goes to concerts in the city. She seldom watches TV because she likes doing things outside. She usually goes to the gym if it's raining outside. She isn't often alone because she has a lot of friends. She occasionally does something alone, but she usually does her activities with one of her friends. She is happy. She's a happy woman. Good job, kids. You read properly. And what are those underlined words? Usually, often, occasionally, always, rarely, seldom, usually. Another one, occasionally, usually. Okay. So, those are the underlined adverbs. Okay, let us check. Let us answer the questions here. The first one, what does Mary usually do if it is raining outside? So according to selection, what is your answer? Okay, good. Another one, how often does she practice choir? And number 3, how often does she watch television? 4, what kind of woman is Agatha? So This one is Agatha. Next, take a look at the underlined words. What do you call them? Okay, the first question is regarding Mary. Okay, Mary. Look at that. But it should be not Mary. It should be Agatha, right? Then number 2, how often does she practice choir? And number 3, how often does she watch television? And number 4, what kind of woman is Agatha? And number 5, take a look at the underlined words. What do you call them? So are you ready to answer now? Okay, good. Another question, what are those words implied? Are you ready, kids? Yeah, nice one. Let's start with number 1. What does Mary usually do if it's raining outside? So, Agatha, she usually goes to the gym if it's raining outside, right? That's the answer for that. So, usually do. So, I use Agatha because the character here is Agatha, not Mary. Okay? Good. Number 2. How often how often does she practice choir? On that selection, how often does she practice choir? So the answer is good. She always goes to choir practice. How often? Always. Always. And the third question, how often does she watch television? What is your answer? Okay, good. She seldom watches television. Seldom. Okay. How about number 4? What kind of woman is Agatha? Yeah, she is a happy woman. And number 5, take a look at the underlined words. What do you call them? Or what do you call with those underlined words? Okay, those are adverb of frequency. And how about number 6? What are those words implied? Yes, those word implies how often the action is done. Okay, those are the underlined um, adverb of frequency. Do you get it? Good. And let us read this one. Adverb of frequency always describe how often something occurs either in definite or indefinite terms. An adverb that describes definite frequency is one such weekly, daily, or yearly. An adverb describing indefinite frequency doesn't specify the exact time frame. Examples: sometimes, often, and rarely, also never, usually, seldom, and always. But these are all adverb of frequency. Okay, how about the simple rules of adverbs of frequency? These simple rules for adverbs of frequency will help you to use them correctly. How will you use that? Always use adverbs of frequency to discuss how often something happens. Remember, how often something happens. So, that's why we call that one as always adverbs of frequency. How often? Okay. For adverb of frequency are often used to indicate routine or repeated activities. So they are often used with the present simple tense. Bakit kaya present simple tense? Dahil lagi-laging ginagawa. It means to say it's a routine. So ang kasunod niya dapat simple tense. Okay? Next, if a sentence has only one verb, place the adverb of frequency in the middle of the sentence so that it is positioned after the subject but before the verb. For example, Tom never flies. She always takes the bus. Look at this, huh? What will you do? Look at this. Tom never. After the subject and before the verb flies. The word never. And this one, he always takes the bus. Why? We use where is always? Okay, after the subject and before the verb takes. Do you understand? Okay, good. Next, when a sentence contains more than one verb, place the adverb of frequency before the main verb. For example, they have often visited Lucena City. Okay. So, anong sabi rito? If a sentence contains more than one verb. Why more than one verb? Okay, because of have and visited, right? So, where should you place the adverb of frequency? Before the main verb visited. Nakuha nyo? So, this one is often. There are two verbs there. This one is a linking verb and this one is the main verb. So, you're going to put the adverb of frequency before the main verb. So, in this sentence, the main verb is visited. So, before visited, we use this adverb. We write this adverb of frequency often. Do you get it? Good. Okay, when using an adverb of frequency and the negative or forming question, place it before the main verb. For example, do you usually get up so late? So, look at this example. So, saan daw ilalagay ang frequency if it is negative in forming a question? So, you have to place it before the main verb. What is the main verb there? Okay, get up. So, you use usually here. Do you get it? Okay, good. So for learning task 1, write a clear and coherent sentences by supplying the missing adverb or degree. Do this in your notebook. I'm going to give you sample kids. Okay, but you can also make your own answer. Okay, these are sample. These are sample only. It can be applicable in this sentence, for sentence number 1, for sentence number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Sometimes this adverb of degree can be used in other form of sentences. It depends if the sentence makes sense. Okay, you use or write sentences that make sense. Do you understand? Okay, let us read first. Number 1, I blank had a time for relaxation since the pandemic began. Number 2, we are blank and sure about what tomorrows may bring. Number 3, we need to avoid giving blank and favorable comment to our frontliners. Number 4, it is blank, dangerous to go out because of the pandemic. And number 5, people need to be blank, obedient to stop the spread of virus. And let us answer now. Are you ready? Okay. For number 1, I hardly had a time to for relaxation since the pandemic began. And number 2, we are quite unsure about what tomorrow's bring. Okay. Number 3, we need to avoid giving somewhat unfavorable comment to our frontliners. And number 4, it is extremely dangerous to go out because of the pandemic. And number 5, people need to be very obedient to stop the spread of virus. Okay. Next one. For direction, how often do you direction letter B, how often do you the following activities? Compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate grammatical structure or adverbs of frequency in answering this. Okay? So these are the question. How often do you sing the Philippine national anthem? Number 2, how often do you raise your hand during class recitation? Then number 3, how often do you wear face mask? How often do you clean your house? And how often do you help others? Now, kids, you your answers may vary. Okay, so it's up to you how will you answer this, but I have sample answers for myself here. Okay, these are sample only. Okay, for number 1, how often do you sing the Philippine national anthem? Every Monday, I sing the Philippine National Anthem. This is only sample, right? Okay, next. How often do you raise your hand during class recitation? For example, I rarely raise my hand during discussion because, or the recitation because I am shy. Okay, next. How do you often wear face mask? Oftentimes, I wear face mask. And number 4, how often do you clean your house? I clean my house every day. Okay, every day. Then, how often do you help others? I sometimes help others. Okay, so those are the sample sentences. Good. So for learning task 2, to compose clear and coherent sentences, improve each of the sentences of the given sentences by adding appropriate degree of adverbs, write each sentence in cursive, and remember to follow rules and sentences. Number 1 is done for you. Sabi dito, anong sasabihin? Improve or compose clear and coherent sentences. Improve each of the given sentences by adding appropriate degree of adverbs. So, rewrite each sentence in cursive. Dikit-dikit ang pagkakasulat sa inyong mga notebook. Okay? Sa inyong mga answer sheets. For example, the trip to the grocery store was long. So this one, example number 1, the trip to the grocery store was rather long. Number 2, the lady's grocery cart was full. Number 3, she was worried that she may not get enough supply for the family. And number 4, the grocery store ran out of supply due to panic buying. And number 5, the groceries fell out of the lady's cart. So, let us answer. Okay, let us answer now. Are you ready? Let's answer for number 2. Okay, the lady's grocery cart was totally full. How about number 3? Okay, she was worried that she may not get enough supply for the family. And number 4, the grocery store actually ran out of supply due to panic buying. And number 5, okay, the groceries accidentally fell out of the lady's cart. Okay, those are sample sentences. Okay, for the direction, compose clear and coherent sentences using the following adverbs of frequency. Like this one. So let us read first. 1, never. 2, always. 3, seldom. 4, constantly. 5, frequently. So let's start with number 1, never. Here, we will never forget what we saw. And number 2, always. I always buy fresh vegetables rather than the frozen one. Then how about seldom? I seldom see him in the church. And constantly, he is constantly alone with his thoughts. And frequently, I spoke frequently on the phone with my sister. So these are the sample answers. So you have to compose your own. You get it? Good. So this one. So in this part, for learning task 3, what will you do? Read the situation below, then perform the given task. So let us read this one. Friends Jackie and Roberto are talking about the current situation in the barangay being put to enhanced community quarantine, the ECQ. Jackie has a little confusion about the situation. Through a dialogue, show how Roberto might have helped Jackie by explaining the situation to her. Finish the dialogue by using appropriate adverbs of degree and writing your sentence for the dialogue. Okay, so this one, between Jackie and Roberto. So, like here, Hey Roberto, have you watched the news today? I'm quite confused about ACQ. Or maybe I can help her by explaining it to her. So you have to make your own dialogue regarding this ACQ. So I have here a sample like that. So you have to continue, okay? I know you know already this ACQ, and let's help let's help Jackie and Roberto to complete this dialogue. Do you understand? Good. Okay, this one. For the letter B, write two to three sentences out of the following picture using the adverb of frequency. These are the adverb of frequency, and these are the pictures, okay? This first picture, second picture, and the third picture. But we're going to use this adverb of frequency and sentences. Okay, let us read. Seldom, every day, sometimes, often, rarely, or never. So, let's start. Okay, I have here some samples. Like, I watch the news every day. So, because of every day, I have there. Then, I seldom play guitar. Right, this one. Or, I rarely watch a movie. Okay, then the word sometimes. Sometimes she plays guitar with friends. So these are the samples that you're going to, model in writing sentences with these pictures. You got it, kids? Okay, good. So that's all for today, kids. Thank you very much. And for those who are not able to subscribe yet, please subscribe and click the notification bell for more updates of videos. So, bye for now. Stay safe, everyone. And God bless us all. See you again next video. Bye-bye.